Alright, looks like it's coming up.
Their streams are running kind of choppy. Alright, it fixed itself. Alright, sorry about the rough start, guys. Had some issues with stream keys. Those seeds and PBs are way wrong, too. Rough start. Yeah, Simple, you might want to handle the commentary while I fix this real quick. Sorry.
Alright, looks like there's just getting shield spell right now. Walking around town.
Oh great, now their streams are crapping out. Yeah, Breastickle's stream is frozen for me. Alright, it's fine. Alright, hopefully they actually have PBs up. They do. 452.
Breastickle with an early 50p bag in the forest. And Xarnax is just gonna skip that 50. Looks like Xarnax got a 50p bag from the first cave. He has 86 XP at the moment. Unless I missed him getting the 50p bag from the forest.
No, I think he would be considerably behind him if he had to do that.
No bubble skip for the both of them. So it's still kind of even. Looks like Xarnax skipped the one loader enemy in the cave, but Breastickle killed that loader. Ouch, Breastickle with a bubble death.
Ew. Yeah, bubble RNG can be way too strong sometimes. Alright, we should have the correct times and seeds up on the layout now. Sorry again, everybody.
Oh man, Breastickle with another death.
Oh wow.
Might be better if he does a reset.
I would almost wait to do that till after Palace 1 if I was him.
Yeah.
Just go to P1, beat it, and then walk back to a tile near where he has to go anyways and reset. Or
Game over.
game over, yeah. Oh, they're saying that Breastickle just switched over to console recently. So that would definitely be a reason for it. It's a big adjustment to make. Alright, Xarnax is having a little bit of trouble getting over the Stalfos. The reason they're skipping those Stalfos is it pushes the drop farther back into the dungeon and gives it to you on an enemy worth less XP. So you maximize your potential experience gains in the dungeon by doing that. The way the drops work is there's two groups of enemies. Each group is counted individually, and they have a chance for a drop at 6 kills in each respective group. I would not be surprised to see Xarnax take the ferry at this point. He's really low on health.
Uh-oh, watch the hammers. Looks like he'll make it to the ferry.
With pretty much 0 HP left.
That blue slime would have killed him. And it looks like he's at 0 health. Might still make it though.
Breastickle not having much trouble with the Hammer Brother. The Doom Rattler as they're named. Xarnax heading towards the candle room with beam swords, so he'll be able to go a little bit quicker through this first room. Stunning them with beam swords slightly faster than having to hit them with your actual sword, because it pauses Link's forward momentum for a brief second. Bots being cooperative in the bridge room.
Breastickle is going for the ferry as well.
Alright, so they're both going to have beam sword for the bubble room.
And he made it through that slightly trolley section with beam sword intact.
Yeah, the room that the ferry's in, the left edge of that room, is really rough sometimes. The combination of a bubble coming at you plus an unpredictable bot usually leads to taking some damage.
Looks like I might need to watch the multi-twitch instead of your stream, Scav.
Yeah, you're probably going to be a bit behind if you're watching my stream, because you're getting the delay from their end to me and then my delay to Twitch.
Alright.
Oh, they're saying that we're about 10 seconds behind in comments. I shouldn't be. I should be commenting in time with what I'm seeing on my end, at least. Keep in mind I'm watching Twitch just like you guys, so there's a little bit of a delay for me as well. But Xarnax taking care of the second Doom, or the third Doom Rattler in the palace. Moving forward to the Iron Knuckle and then to the boss Horsehead.
Okay, I'm on the multi-twitch. Is Xarnax on Horsehead?
Yep,
Is what I'm seeing.
Xarnax is kind of getting assaulted by Horsehead too. Taking a lot of damage. Was able to kill him without a death though. And Breastickle is getting to the Iron Knuckle before Horsehead right now.
Oh wow, I didn't notice Xarnax is leveling.
Oh, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I didn't notice that either. So that's going to cause him some issues not having attack 4 coming out of Palace 1. It's nothing insurmountable, but it does make the beginning of the run a little bit rougher. Xarnax also getting the unlucky fairy encounter, 1 tile from the cave. He took magic 2 by the candle.
That was probably not intentional. Xarnax in a trophy cave. And Breastickle on his way there.
Xarnax had a little bit of trouble in the cave. Lost 3 bars of health from the combination of the bat and the gorilla. Oh, Breastickle
Breastickle.
taking a lava bath. That might have been intentional because that was his last life.
Yeah.
Xarnax heading in to grab the or actually refilling his life before he goes to grab the jump spell, so he does have a bit of a lead. And going by the timers, their timers are about a minute and 20 seconds ahead of mine because of not having a timer up when I started the stream, because again, I'm a noob. Sorry guys. But the actual time right now should be about 12 minutes and 5 seconds. Breastickle taking some encounters on the way to Jump Town. It's gonna put him a little bit further behind. Xarnax leaving Jump Town, heading towards the Jump Cave. With only having attack 3, he's going to have to get some extra hits on the gorillas, which can be dangerous. They like to be trolly with their boomerangs. Alright, took it a little bit slow with the loaders, but didn't take any damage, so that's the important part.
With attack 4, Breastickle might catch up a little bit in Death Mountain.
He should.
Yeah.
How many hits is Orange Dyra with attack 3? Isn't it 5 hits?
5.
Yeah.
5 hits.
So that's
Versus 3 hits.
2 more hits, and I believe the red Dyras are 2 more hits as well. 8 as opposed to 6. Or I'm sorry, 6 as opposed to 4. I can't do math. Alright, Xarnax talking to Bagu, getting his letter to show to the Riverman. He's going over the Trollfish Cave now. There is a reason we call those things Trollfish. They're the way they arc up onto the screen can make them really, really difficult to hit sometimes. You have to do a well-placed jumping crouch stab to be able to kill them without stopping and waiting for them to go over you. And obviously in a speed run you don't want to stop and wait. That's slow, so you just gotta kind of jump and crouch stab and hope you had the right timing to not get sniped out of the air. And while you're doing that, you gotta be ready to block any stones they shoot at you from the other direction if some spawn behind you as well.
Breastickle made it to Bagu, or Bagu, yes. Uh-oh. Encounter? Extra encounter there.
Alright, Xarnax leaving the life spell house. It's not very difficult to get the life spell, you just have to do a quick fetch quest one screen over and grab a mirror from under a table. Which is also the only time Link actually speaks in the Legend of Zelda series, even though he's speaking to himself. Alright, Breastickle just entering Lifehouse, so he is definitely a little bit behind, but is in a good position to catch up in Death Mountain. Xarnax losing Beam Sword early on. The third cave, I believe it is, has a couple bots and a bunch of bats, and it's just much easier and safer if you have the beam. Xarnax getting a unlucky bounce off the wall.
Oof. Alright, Breastickle is on his way out and into the fire.
This room Xarnax is going through now is the room I was talking about. If you have Beam Sword, you can just jump in, take out the bot, jump and throw a beam, and usually take out most of the bats in one beam. But without Beam Sword, you kind of just gotta either damage boost through them or actually slowly fight through them.
Alright, Breasticle's first cave here went really well. He kept his beam sword and didn't really slow down that much.
Thank you to everybody in chat, by the way. I see your comments on the layout. I do appreciate it. Alright, we have Xarnax getting to the first blue Gorilla in Death Mountain. I believe the only blue Gorilla in Death Mountain. There might be one in the areas that you don't go to in the speed run, but I don't think me or Simple have done those areas in years, so who knows.
That was the second one on this route.
Second one on this route, okay.
Yeah.
There's just so much to this game in this run, it's hard to keep track of everything. Oh, unfortunate death from Xarnax. The red Dyras that are one tile below you can be tricky to deal with. The best way to take them out is to jump at them and do a crouch stab right before you land, but if you don't position it well, you're going to get hit. Alternatively, you can just walk up to the edge and crouch stab them, but again, if you don't time it right, you're going to get hit. So either way, you're risking getting hit. Another one of these stepped rooms.
Breasticle is one room behind Xarnax now.
Definitely catching up. Combination of that death that Xarnax took and having attack 4. Although
Both of
Xarnax,
them.
yeah, I was just going to say Xarnax does have attack 4 now, he just got it.
Yeah.
Dyra throwing out a lot of axes at Xarnax there. But he's got through the room fairly easily. Still has his beam for the Magmats.
Did Breasticle just despawn the first red axe guy?
Interesting.
Which is fine, he doesn't really need the XP.
Yeah, that just means he has to kill an extra Iron Knuckle in Palace too. It's not really anything major. Usually, even if you don't get a single P-Bag drop through Death Mountain and Palace 2, you end up over-leveled by the end of it.
Our Xarnax with a 200 P bag, which is really nice. He needed it.
Yeah, especially only having attack 3 coming out of Palace 1, he's really low on XP still even. Still has a couple more chances at P-Bag drops. I don't know, I think if I had attack 3 coming out of Palace 1, I would have probably skipped life 3 until after Palace 2, just to make it a little bit easier on the XP. Xarnax down to 0 HP fighting the Aikman. Their flight pattern can be trolly sometimes. It's always the same pattern, but they can go one of two ways, and if they come at you, you can sometimes get away from them, sometimes not.
Looks like they're about even now.
Yeah. Really, really close race now. Breastickle had a really, really solid Death Mountain. The room Xarnax is going through right now is my favorite room in the game. I love that Octorok cave. I don't know. I killed the last one by jumping over it and doing this like backward shield block while stabbing him, and I don't know. It looks swag as hell, and I love it.
Do you do it every time?
Yes, each and every time.
Xarnax casting life. If Breastickle doesn't cast any magic, he'll be ahead in the downstab area.
Yes. What Simple's referring to there is if you have enough magic to cast jump going into the fairy town, you don't need to talk to the magic lady. And if you need to talk to the magic lady, she's ahead of where you need to use the jump spell, so you waste time going and talking to her. Ooh. Bad encounters on Xarnax's side. Looked like he was just trying to walk right to get away from him and was unable to. Breastickle not getting the JN manipulation for the swamp, so he's going to take an encounter on the way to the cave. It's still a really, really close race. Can't be any more than 10 seconds apart right now.
Wow, Breastickle doing the double hits on the red X guys.
Yeah, that's surprising. You don't usually see newer runners doing that. That's going to be tricky to work out at first. And if you happen to miss one of your strikes, usually you end up catching an X to the face.
No, Xarnax.
Again, in Xarnax's shoes, I would do what Breastickle had to do earlier, finish out the next palace so you aren't throwing a bunch of experience away, and then find the quickest way you can game over. And we set a rule in this tournament where if you do game over, you have to return. If you were in a palace or a cave or whatever, you have to return to the room you were in when you game over. If you were on an overworld encounter, you have to return to the tile on the overworld you were on, just to prevent being able to use death warping to gain time. You can death warp to refill your lives if you need to, but you're going to be wasting time because you have to return to where you were. Drazar, yes. Xarnax can definitely catch up. It's still early enough in the run where it's anybody's race, really. He is losing more time now, but again, this is a really, really long category. A lot can happen over the course of an hour and a half.
Swamp encounters after this town here might even things out. We will see.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you can get through the swamp with 0 or 1 encounters, but normally it's going to be more than that. Unfortunately, that swamp gives you very few road tiles to kind of try to get away from encounters on, so it's just a losing situation all around. There's a bit of a manipulation you can do coming out of the heart container cave to try to get fewer encounters through the swamp, but still it's pretty random once you get to the first stretch of road. Xarnax grabbing the down stab while Breastickle grabs the fairy spell. Down stab's probably the single most important or most useful skill in the game as far as utility of getting safely over enemies and dealing a lot of damage really quick thanks to the jackhammer. This game has a nice quirk where your horizontal attacking is limited by how fast Link's sword animation is. You can only mash as fast as his animation will let you attack. However, attacks that are performed with D-pad inputs, being the upstab and downstab, the game only shows one frame for those attacks, and it's only showing them while you're pressing that respective direction. So you can mash that direction and just constantly rack up damage on enemies if you're inside the enemy's hitbox. Breastickle going into the heart container cave. He'll probably fairy the heart container. I don't see any reason not to. He has full magic. Oh, he won't. Okay. You could save a few seconds there if you cast fairy and grab the heart as a fairy because it skips the item collection fanfare and allows you to just instantly move away.
Briscoe got the good pattern there in the grass. Made it to the road.
Oh, I think you're actually seeing Breastickle ahead of where I am now.
Yeah, I might be ahead a few seconds.
I don't want to refresh it and cause everything to lag up on my end, so I guess I'll just kind of leave it. Breastickle taking one more encounter a step before Palace 2. Alright, we're inside of Palace 2.
Xarnax getting all kinds of encounters.
Yep, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Sometimes you just get unlucky, and it's really a snowball effect with the swamp. Once you take one encounter, they're going to pile up. Your best bet is to just not take any encounters, but sometimes that's just not a realistic possibility. I'm sure for like the really top tier runners like yourself and JN and Error, you guys probably reset a lot because of that swamp.
I reset even before Lifetown sometimes.
Oh, the first little stretch of swamp.
Yes. XP wise, looks like Xarnax is fine. He will get attack 5.
However, Breastickle will get it much earlier than him, which will enable him to skip a lot of stuff later in the dungeon, which could give him a really good chance to pull ahead even more into the lead. Squeaky chair hype. Alright, Breastickle getting attack 5. That means all of the bigger enemies in this palace are now going to take him one less hit to kill than it will Xarnax, and he's pretty much good on experience for the rest of the palace now too, so he can skip pretty much any enemy that isn't directly blocking his forward progress. This room can be a little bit tricky for newer runners. Your instincts make you want to downstab the bot, but downstabbing the bots throws the horse head patterns off and just gives you really tough patterns to get around. So you gotta try to just kind of jump over the bots and land in the gaps between them and keep moving so you can keep the horse head spawns consistent and low.
Breastickle used the jump spell there in the bridge, bot bridge.
It's a smart move.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the doing the quick crouch stab up on the blocks and then ferrying as soon as I grab the key. I almost like the jump spell idea better because it takes a little bit of a scare moment out of it.
I missed mentioning that in the tutorial because I've never done it.
What's that, the jump spell?
Yeah, in that one
Yeah.
room.
It's not something you see a lot of runners do, but I've seen a lot of the newer guys that have picked up the tournament or picked up the game for this tournament doing that. So it's an
That's probably
interesting new strat that's come about.
that's probably thanks to Fiesel. That's an old strat for him.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I feel dumb now. Alright, we have Breastickle grabbing the glove. The glove in this game allows you to crush certain blocks with your
Whoa.
sword. Huh.
Breastickle with the left and right MU trick, which he
Whoa!
didn't, he didn't really go anywhere, so that's fine. He didn't warp.
Is he playing on MU?
I have no idea. Unless his D-pad is worn out.
It's possible. I have those cheap, like, Chinese clone NES controllers, and the D-pad on those definitely will allow you to hit left and right by complete accident, even. But what you guys seen on Breasticle's stream is an effect that happens if you manage to press the left and right inputs at the same time. It just kind of flings Link, and I'm not sure if it's the direction you were hitting before you hit both directions, or if it's the direction you're holding when you release both directions, but either way, it flings Link at a high rate of speed. Breasticle taking a death in the turret room, as I'll call it. Yeah, we have Jam in chat saying he has a real NES controller that he can do left and right with at will.
Can I have it? Jam?
I'm sure Simple has an extra controller laying around he can trade you for it. Trade out that busted left and right controller for a good one. It would be kind of neat to have a controller you can do that with just to play with some of the task routing in real time.
Jam I can buy it. We'll talk soon.
Alright, we got Breasticle going down into the final stretch of Palace 2, the lowest level of it. It's kind of a nasty room at first with a bot that is unpredictable and trolly and Doom Rattler chucking maces at you. It can be a bit of a chore to get under the maces and take out the bot without any consequence. Now we have Xarnax entering that same bottom level of Palace 2. Played it really safe with the Doom Rattler.
Jump strats on Helmet Head, which I've never seen before. Which works really well, looks like.
Yeah, it's actually something that I used to do when I was a kid. Alright, Breasticle getting through Palace 2 on a pretty good pace. Definitely ahead of Xarnax at this point. But not by much. Just by a boss fight. And Xarnax is having a really, really quick helmet head, so this gap's closed up a little bit between our two racers. Yes, left and right is prohibited in the category and tournament rules, but because he's not exploiting it everywhere and it seemed to just be a complete fluke accident, we're not going to knock him for it. Now, if he does it again later in the run and he uses it to some benefit, then yeah, we will probably have to discuss something then, but as of right now, it just appeared to be a total accidental mishap. Sorry, her breasticle dropping into the cave before Palace 3. I know when I was a kid I struggled to find that cave. And then once I figured out where it was and that you could literally just walk straight down from the center tomb, I was kind of disappointed with myself. See, even my cat just called me an idiot. Alright, now we have Xarnax going through that same cave, and we have a racer into Palace 3. Alright, Palace 3 has a couple enemies that can do some damage to you really quick. The Doom Knocker's maces do huge damage to you, especially when you're only at life 3 in the beginning of the dungeon. There's a couple blue iron knuckles, and those things were the cause of many nightmares for me as a kid. I would fall asleep and just get woke up by beams flying at my face. But a couple years of therapy later, I can play the game again and not have nightmares. But they can just ramp up their speed of throwing those beams at you to just unbelievable rates of speed where you just can't do anything with it.
Well, every time you hit them, they're gonna do their quick beams.
Oh, really? Is that what causes it?
Yeah, they get mad like Thunderbird at half health.
It's like an enraged type of thing. I gotcha. Was not aware of that. Alright, Xarnax having to break a few blocks to get up the block room. It's a little bit slower, but sometimes you just miss the 3 tile jumps and have to do that.
Ouch, Breastickle. With a dangerous room here.
Oh, and he's taking a lava bath. He's still ahead though, so lost a little bit of his lead, but still in really good shape. I don't know if he's planning on death abusing in Palace 4, but if he is, he's probably going to have to take one less now. I wouldn't expect to see death abuses out of either of our racers in this race, though. It's not that big of a time save. It's used mostly as a magic refill utility. Breasticle downstabbing the raft. If this was the Japanese version, he would have picked it up, but alas, it's the US version, so he just bounced away like a pinball. Alright, Xarnax, on the other hand, is going to ferry the raft, saving a couple seconds and tightening that gap even more. They're both in the same room now.
Yeah, he caught up a little bit with that. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I spoke too soon.
We jinxed him. That good old commentator's curse.
Sorry, Xarnax.
I mean, I'm sure we'll jinx Breasticle at some point through the run, so it'll even out, but yeah. Sorry, Xarnax. Alright, so he's a little bit behind again, but he can easily catch right back up. It seems like
Breast
both of them are very similar skill levels, so
Breastickle having a bit of a snafu there in the blocks. Made it out though.
yeah. Palace 3 is a really rough palace to make a mess up in that block room because you don't have up stab, and if you break the blocks wrong and you can't jump out, it's not that hard if you have up stab to get back out, but without up stab you end up wasting a lot of time figuring out how to get out. Sometimes you might even just have to break blocks all the way back to the left.
Which I hope we never see.
Yeah, I really hope we don't see that at all. I don't think that's ever happened to me in a run, but it definitely happened to me as a kid and a young adult playing this game until I, started speedrunning the game and seeing the way you guys were handling that room. Breastickle doesn't look like he's going for the quick kill. He's
Down step.
not.
He made it. He got it.
Huh, he used a different setup than I'm used to seeing.
Still really close.
Yeah, we have Xarnax just starting the boss now. Looks like he is going to go for the quick kill.
And he gets it. Yes.
Okay, I thought he was going to get trolled when Rebanak went off to the left.
Wow,
Xarnax,
Xarnax, yeah.
them double fairy spawns.
No encounters to the cave.
He's,
I want that cartridge he's using.
I know, right? But most importantly, he gained back some of the ground he was behind on. So it was brief, but they were back in the same room again for a couple seconds there. With Palace 4 coming up and, the trek to and from Reflect Town, it's really anybody's race still. Encounters can.
Xarnax in that hidden red jar room,
Oh,
which I guess he used as a replacement for the King's Tomb.
I end up doing that sometimes only because I forget to hold up as I'm leaving the cave and end up walking left, and then by the time I remember to walk up, it's just the right amount of tiles to where I hit the jar encounter.
Alright, Xarnax, no encounters to Firetown, and he caught up a lot.
Yeah, on my screen they're looking pretty even. Xarnax maybe 2 or 3 seconds behind. Alright, and again, guys. Oh, wow. Alright, so my timer stopped at some point. Oh, I think my live split just flat out crashed. It did.
In their individual timers, they're around 45 minutes, 51 seconds.
I'm just going to grab Xarnax's timer. So yeah, we're going to be timerless for a second here, guys. Sorry. I'm fixing it right now, though. Bear with me.
Breastickle with a fire strats in that cave, which I don't think anyone ever does. It's pretty nice.
It's definitely nice to be seeing fire getting some use. It's a pretty forgotten spell in speedruns of this game, with the exception of a couple people that use it to set up Palace 6 drops. And by a couple people, I mean one person. Error.
Both of them made it to the maze to the kid with no encounters. That was nice. They're in the same room.
Alright, we have a timer again, guys. I apologize again.
And Breastickle is just gonna go for it. No manipulations. I don't think Breastickle even picked up the 1-up yet, which Xarnax just did.
Both of them taking a lot of encounters on the trek to Darunia, also
Ouch,
known as Reflect Town.
Breastickle with the accidental death
Oh,
there.
couldn't cast Fairy in time either. If he could have got that Fairy cast off, that wouldn't have been too costly. Because, I mean, he would have needed to refill his magic in Darunia anyways. Alright, Xarnax pulling ahead. It's been some back and forth in this race.
There's still the trek back to the maze after this town. We'll see who if Xarnax keeps the lead.
Breasticle's really having trouble with this encounter skip. He's gonna cast Fairy and move through it. Fairy is a smart call with the bubbles on this screen, and again, it's not too costly because you have to visit the Magic Lady anyways, so you can spam spells to have full magic after casting Jump for the super jump.
Which Xarnax just got.
That is a pixel perfect jump. You have to be moving at your full forward momentum speed and jump on a specific pixel to be able to clip up onto the ceiling in that way.
Breastickle going for the harder super jump, which he got.
I've never tried the one from the left. I don't know about that ACMLM. With the super jump, you can miss it a crazy amount of times and still be saving time over going the intended way. I think it's something like 17 tries or something ridiculous.
Just 7.
Oh, it's 7? I don't know where I
Still,
heard 17 then.
it's still a lot. 7 tries.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was more than that. I'm learning so much today, Simple.
I just timed it last week, so, but yeah, I thought it was more than that. Xarnax with the pause buffers, and he gets the skips. And Breastickle getting trolled.
Yeah, this is letting Xarnax pull ahead. Xarnax is one encounter away from getting to Maze Island. Right, now going through Maze Island to get to Palace 4. Anytime you hit a fork in the road, you want to take whatever the longest possible route is. Doing that, you will only get one fixed encounter on the way to the palace, two if you count the magic cave, but I really don't count that as an encounter. It's a happy hole in the ground. But if you take any of the other routes, you can end up with two or... I don't think there's any routes where you can get three encounters, but there might be.
Breastickle with the early Magic 4. I think he'll be fine with XP wise in the palace.
Yeah. I usually take Magic 4 and Palace 4, so taking it before the palace shouldn't be an issue. You do have to kill pretty much everything in the palace. You can skip, I think it's one of the blue Stalfos things, and that's about it. If you skip any more than that, you're probably going to end up short. Unless you get a P bag drop instead of a red jar somewhere.
Yeah, it's been about a couple years since I did Magic 4 and P4. I'm not sure, yeah, how many enemies, but you said pretty much all of it.
Yeah, you can skip one of the blue, I guess you would call them like armored Stalfos. You might be able to skip one more enemy in addition to that blue Stalfos, but I never do. Every time I do, it seems like I end up short XP by the time I get to the boss. Uh, that is from Breasticle's stream. There's nothing I can do about that, guys. He has his stream chat slightly overhanging onto his game feed. Oh, I'm slacking over here. Forgot to change the layout. We've had Xarnax and Palace 4 for a while here.
Xarnax with the Magic 4. I think he'll be okay. He got a 200 P back drop earlier.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like Xarnax is using the death abuses, which is a smart move in a race. Again, they don't save much time. It's only 3 or 4 seconds per death abuse, and if you have full magic, that's really the only other reason you would death abuse is to refill it. Even in PB runs, my policy with the death abuses are, if I don't get the red jar from the statue, I death abuse. If I get the red jar, I don't. And I always skip at least one of the death abuses just to have an extra cushion life going into the Great Palace later on in the run.
Yeah, I'm planning to do that as well. Xarnax is about 2 rooms ahead. But the boss is gonna be trolly or not. Might end up catching up to each other.
I don't think Xarnax has enough to cast jump in the upstab room. I forget how many points it takes at Magic 4. I think it's 24 though.
2 bars, yes.
Oh, it's 32 then. Even more
Yeah.
of an ouch.
It
So
takes a death.
I'm sure
Go
both
ahead.
I'm sure both of them are hoping for the magic jar drops, but especially Xarnax now. Otherwise, he's gonna be pretty
Oh, there he
screwed.
goes. He's gonna take a death abuse.
Hmm, that's an interesting death abuse, but I like it.
Oh, wow.
I was wondering why he just downstabbed straight down to the key. Like, he has upstab, but still, that's gonna be slow to climb out. That was a really smart death abuse.
Breastickle with a clutch red jar back there. That'll help.
Ooh, I don't. That was kind of risky. Skipping both of the blue armored Stalfoses and the P bag. Xarnax could end up short XP. No, he got the 200 drop from the red Stalfos earlier.
Yeah, there's still a P bag coming up.
Yeah. Ignore me. So I'm just gonna mute my mic and let Simple do the rest of this.
Oh, Xarnax skipping the blue guy there. That's gonna bite him later on the way out.
Yes. That room, the second red Dyra in Death Mountain's another one that you do not want to skip or run off the screen before the XP starts ticking, because on the way back through you're guaranteed to get assaulted. As we are seeing now on Xarnax's stream. So his health is in really bad shape. He's going the wrong way too. Wait.
Did you get the key already? I missed it.
I don't think he grabbed the key already. He's gonna be having to backtrack in a minute here. So he's gonna lose some of the time he's ahead.
Ooh, there he goes.
Yeah, Breastickle could catch all the way up. I can't say I've never done that in a palace before. Forget a key.
In this palace?
Yeah, I've done exactly. When I was first learning this game, I definitely did exactly what Xarnax just did. Multiple times at that.
And they're even. Except Breasticle is low on health and magic.
He's got a chance at a red jar coming from the statue up ahead. Xarnax did not get the jar, he got an iron knuckle. But he has enough magic to cast Reflect, so as long as he keeps his health high, he should be in good shape to finish the dungeon. Breasticle playing it a bit risky in the horse head room, getting the back spawn, allowing him to run through without any consequence though. And he got the red jar. That's a really, really clutch red jar for Breasticle. He's going to go ahead and kill the horse head. Really good idea. If you kill all of the spawning horse heads in a given room, they stop spawning as long as you don't start scrolling back the other direction.
Xarnax, that's his last life, I think. Hopefully he gets attack 8 before getting a game over.
And with the rule that you have to return to where you died, I would almost walk out of the ocean back over by Firetown and die somewhere there and game over, and then you have to go to Palace 5 anyways, so the tile you have to run back to is on the way at least. He's going to get attack 8 at any rate.
Both of them, yeah.
Still a really close race. Breasticle's just getting to the Karok fight. Seems to be getting a rather trollish pattern. No, it's going decent now. Oh no, he's getting trolled a little bit. No double hits either. Definitely a suboptimal Karok fight, but there's not much you can do about that. And it looks like Xarnax is just going to press on ahead to Palace 5. Grabbing the heart container before the palace. I do that as well. I like having the extra block of life in Palace 5.
Could end up saving him, yes.
Now,
And Breastickle going for the same thing.
I don't think you can still do the river dance if you grab the heart before Palace 5. So that's one drawback of grabbing the heart before Palace 5, is you can't do the river dance, which is a really consistent method of skipping an encounter later on in the run. But there's an alternative way of doing that where you walk through the water a certain way and enter a cave to reset your spawns, and you can still do the same skip. I don't think it's as consistent as the river dance at all, though. Alright, let's see if Breastickle goes, or if Xarnax goes back for the key, and he will.
No key skip, which is good. Still really close. Very close.
Yes, about a 2-room differential between the two racers, and in a run like this, that's nothing. It really is. And with Xarnax being on his last life, this could change any minute now. Xarnax dies, he's gonna lose a lot of time, and he might even be in a position he can't recover from unless Breastickle makes a really bad mistake.
And Xarnax not casting jump.
It's questionable, especially since you have a jar coming up in the next room. There's actually an interesting leveling strat that I came up with as a kid in this block room. It's non-viable for a speedrun, but for a casual playthrough it's really effective. You create a walkway 2 tiles high, and you do that 3 tiles off the ground. You just break all the blocks so that 3 tiles off the ground there's a walkway you can go through. You stand on a trigger to spawn the MOAs, and you cast fire and you just mash B. You end up getting like 50 experience every couple seconds from the MOAs and a potential 200 point bag every 6 kills. It just racks up so quickly.
I've never seen anyone do it that way. Yeah.
My first 1cc in this category, I messed up my leveling and I had to do that to catch it back up. I'll link you the video of that later. It's quite interesting.
Okay.
I love that strat too. It just sucks that obviously it's not viable for a speed run, because the whole point of speed running is to not stop and grind.
I just noticed Breastickle took life 5 already.
JLo used to use that trick too. Nice. Hey, I'm not saying I'm the only person that ever did it, Draz. I'm just saying that I legitimately came up with it on my own as a very, very young kid.
Both of them going for that faraway key first before getting the flute.
Yes. And that's really just a personal choice. I prefer to grab the flute first. It's better for the magic routing, in my opinion, because you can grab the statue jar, ferry the flute, and then have another jar coming out of the key area.
Right.
Which I guess you can still do on the way back, but you're going to lose the magic from the ferry, unless you want to go back in the room and then get the statue jar, but that's costing more time than it would be worth. Fortunately, Palace 5 has red jars just scattered everywhere. It's really generous with the magic refills.
Breastickle might have forgotten where the jar was. But he kept moving on.
We're still at about a 2-room difference between these two. Xarnax getting the jackhammer on the iron knuckle.
Xarnax looks like he's gonna get the jar again. Another jar.
Yeah, again, this palace just has them scattered everywhere. Seems like every other room has a jar in it.
Xarnax opted to not do Life 5 in this palace.
He might do something similar to what I do, where I only use it if I need an emergency life refill, and I know I don't have a jar coming up to where I feel like I can get to it before I die. Breastickle taking a death from the Magos. These enemies can really troll you, especially when you're opening a door, because you're frozen in place for a couple seconds and they can just spawn right on top of you. Alright, we've got Breastickle heading back up the elevator. He's trying to grab the red jar from the horse head, but that's not the correct horse head, unfortunately. You realize that shortly after trying. However, the room he's entering now does have the correct horse head.
Xarnax having a bit of a problem with that blue knight.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest blue iron knuckle in the game. It's just in such a bad position. If you try doing the normal jumping standing stab method, you end up breaking blocks and getting assaulted by beams. If you try jumping and doing crouch stabs, you still can get hit by beams. I did see somebody do a strat recently where they used the jump spell and went above and just down stabbed straight to the key and jumped back up and completely ignored the blue iron knuckle. Which, for a new runner, that's actually a pretty solid strat, I think.
I think Jam did that earlier.
Jam, okay. I think it was somebody, it was Svenna or Solifed maybe that did that
Oh, I see.
in the race I commentated the other day. I could be wrong. I know I definitely seen it recently though. But like I said, I think it's an interesting strat, probably good for newer runners to consider because again, that blue iron knuckle is one of, if not the worst in the game.
Xarnax on his last life, but he's still going.
Yep, heading towards Palace 6 while Breasticle deals with Guma. Having a really safe Guma fight, playing it safe against him. Good kill.
Shield plus Life 5. It's really safe.
Yeah, I don't fight Guma without shield unless I'm out of magic. It's not a good idea.
Xarnax getting trolled, but managed to get the skip. And
Breasticle taking an encounter on the way to the River Devil. See if he tries to salvage the skip or if he just continues on. He's going to try to salvage it. Yep, he gave it one shot and then continued on. Probably the best move in my opinion. We have Breastickle ferrying through the Wilson screens.
Wait, what happened to Breasticle's leveling? He might have
Wait, what?
not gotten the bonus.
He might have taken attack 9.
Ouch.
And he's on a destroying PB pace too. They're both on PB paces actually, but that's unfortunate. That's going to be hard to recover from. And another accidental left and right. Ouch. Yeah, ACMLM just verified he got attack 9.
Oh, okay. He's getting another one up.
I wonder if that was intentional, maybe? I don't think that would have been intentional, grabbing the extra life from experience. That seems like a losing trade-off.
He's getting more P bags here. I guess he's trying to get up to 1200.
Now, if you were to accidentally do that in a race, what would your escape plan be? Simple.
I would just keep going.
You just keep going. What do
Yeah.
you think your leveling would end up at?
I think I saw someone still get 867.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure how I would handle that. I guess I'd probably just YOLO it and keep going like you just said. That'd probably be the best bet. We have Xarnax going to grab the magic key, so he's constantly gaining ground on Breastickle right now.
Breastickle with the fire strats. I think he's in love with those fire strats.
I'm just happy to see that spell getting used. It's so underappreciated.
And he got a jar. Really nice. Don't need to talk to magic lady.
It's killing all the Lizalfos, which is something he definitely needs to do. You know, with both of his next levels being in the low 1,000 range, I would have probably just got enough experience to get above 1,500 and just finished Palace 6 and used the statue rewards to see how high I could get my magic level.
Yeah.
I don't know if taking magic 5 there was a good idea. You know what? He might be planning on killing a couple of Zalfos and grabbing the 500 bag on the way to the heart container. And that would definitely push him over to be able to get the big reward from the statue, I think. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles the rest of this run.
Xarnax taking the 500 P bag there. Oh, I see. He took magic 7 early.
Okay. It's not necessarily a bad strat. Gives you more leeway in Palace 6. Alright, we have Xarnax in Palace 6. I don't think he's on his... Wait, he is on his last life, is he not?
Still, yes. I
Alright.
don't think he took the one up.
So he has to really, really play good in this Palace. He cannot afford to cast life at all. He needs
There is a
every...
one up.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there is a one up before the boss. I'm not sure
Ooh, he
if
fell
he's
down the
gonna
hole.
take it, which is around a 10-second loss. Not too bad.
Yeah, especially with the lead he's got, it's not too big of a deal. Yeah, he's probably going to have to grab that one up in Death Abuse for Magic. Possibly.
More beautiful fire strats from Breastickle. I like it.
Alright, here's the hole that you really don't want to fall down coming up on Xarnax's stream. That first one will cost you 10 seconds and annoy you. This one will make you throw your controller and turn the game off. And he walked
And
right into it. Oh no.
Scavenger with the commentator curse.
I take no responsibility for that one, sir. That is a hole that anybody that even has thought of running this game should know that you have to be diligent about. That's an unfortunate time and magic loss for Xarnax, especially being on his last life. Doomknocker on this screen is a bit of a troll. Not even a bit of a troll, he's a troll. He's a giant troll.
And he's having... Oh, there he goes. Oh, Breastickle taking the pitfall, which is still okay.
Yeah, he got knocked in by the IK beam. Ouch. Alright, we've got Xarnax getting the red jar from the statue, able to refill some of his life and be at almost full magic. Not quite, about 8 points short of a full bar. Each individual block on the magic and life bars is 16 points for anybody unfamiliar with how that works.
If Xarnax doesn't cast any more unnecessary spells, he's good to go until the end.
Yeah. That might be a challenge with how low his life is, but it's definitely not out of the question. Shiner CCC, yes, you can clear that gap without jump, but it's generally not recommended. Oh, barely made that jump. Alright, Breastickle taking care of the Iron Knuckle, or Rebanak.
And Breasticle's XP, if he doesn't take any more levels, he's good to go with the big bonus at the end.
He is at 855. Oh yeah, that's right, with his leveling mix-up. So yeah, he's actually in good shape. He might have to end at 875, but he's definitely in a position to be able to finish the run. Another left-right input from Breasticle. He must be playing on a really old controller, because I'm pretty sure he's on console.
He had to cast jump there, but he got a red jar recently. He's fine magic-wise.
As long as he doesn't get hit by a bubble. Well, I don't know if he's planning on doing jackhammer strats, so that could be a non-issue.
And Xarnax not gonna have jump spell for the boss. He has enough for one fairy cast, which is mandatory.
Well, keep in mind he also has Magic 7 instead of Magic 6.
Right.
Oh yeah, he still won't have enough. Never mind. I did my math wrong. Dispatching of Rebenak really quick. Alright, let's see if he goes for the 1-up. I wouldn't. It would be suicide at this point.
Yep, he's going for it. One health bar. He might have enough for jump. 12 points. Let's see. Oh, he's not doing jump anyway.
It's looking like he could get a 2-cycle. Yep, it's going to be a 3-cycle. Still a
Good
clutch
job.
kill.
Good job, Xarnax.
Indeed. Well done, Barbafight. Alright, it's looking like he's about 2 minutes and 53 seconds ahead of his current PB right now. Now, being on his last life, it's interesting to see if he's gonna try to go through Great Palace or if he's gonna go just hug the first spicy chicken.
We'll find out soon. And Breastickle going for extra 1-up here. He might get drained of magic though. He needs 2.5 bars for fairy.
He's just getting
And he made it.
demolished by that blue IK though.
I'm not sure if he still has 16 points for jump. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, he might have 15 MP,
Or
and if he does, he's not going to be able to cast it.
looks like he did 20. He had 20 actually. Wow. But died anyway.
Oh, he casted shield.
Or shield, yes.
He didn't have the 20 for jump. He still has 3 lives, so he's not in any danger of game overing.
Nice fight.
Nice. Got a 2-cycle. Yeah, Shiner, if you game over in the Great Palace, you just have to go back to the same screen. But it makes your PB invalid because it's no longer a 1cc. So it's going to be interesting to see if he does take that game over to refill his lives and win the race, or if he just goes all out and tries to finish 1cc to have a what's looking like it could be a 3+ minute PB. Oh, he still has 1 life left still.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Okay. Xarnax is in good shape too then. He does have a nice little lead built up. Alright, sorry for the hiccup there, guys. I refreshed both of the streams so they would be a little bit more accurate. It seems like I was behind by a little bit. Alright, we've got Xarnax going past the first blueless Alphos. Not gonna kill it. He already has Magic 8, so he has no reason to. Going with the spell strats in Valley of Death. Uh-oh, his stream's buffering for me now.
I'm I'm watching on the multi-Twitch. His stream is fine.
Yeah, it seems to be working fine now. Alright, he took one club from the blueless Alphos. He can only take one more, I think. The 0 HP strats. Scary.
And
So
he cannot cast life spell with 3 bars. Breastickle with the encounter skip. Might be ahead though.
Alright, so Xarnax being on his last life, he might have some trouble in the Great Palace. He can take, there is an extra one up towards the end of the palace he can take to give him an extra death abuse to refill his magic, or is it just in case on Thunderbird? But he has to make it to that one up, which can be a challenge. We've got Breastickle getting past the Scorpion, no issues. And now skipping the blueless Alphos. He's got 876 leveling, which is still totally fine. He's not going to be able to cast a bunch of spells on Thunderbird. He's only going to be able to use Thunder and one other spell, but that's not too big of an issue against Thunderbird if you know how to fight him.
Breastickle getting trolled in the last encounter skip. And there it goes.
Alright, Xarnax going through this third spicy chicken now. Almost said second because I forgot about the one at the end of the hallway. Right, he got his horse head pattern to stabilize. If you get those things out of pattern, it can really lead to some headaches.
Looks like Breastickle is gonna go for life 7 here.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That makes the sting of not having as much magic to cast stuff on Thunderbird a little bit less. Alright, now Xarnax is going through, in my opinion, one of the hardest rooms in the game. He tried the 5-tile block break. He didn't get
Smart
it.
move on him casting shield spell.
Yes, especially being on his last life. Alright, Xarnax getting past another spicy chicken with no consequence. Onto the final blue bird knight he's going to have to deal with. Gave him a decent enough pattern where he was able to get by rather easily.
We'll see if he takes the 1 up. And fairy. And fairy.
Now, is he going to go for the 1-up, or is he going to go for the jars?
Breastickle, one of the hidden rooms, hoping for a red jar, and he
Xarnax
gets
is
it.
skipping the 1-up. He's going to hope for a jar. Breasticle's still a few rooms behind, though, so he's still well in the lead. Alright, Xarnax coming into the drop down into the room before Thunderbird, where he's going to be hoping for a red jar coming from the blocks on the left. There's actually 2 jars. He's not going for the...
He's just gonna go for it.
He doesn't have...
Thunder. One Thundercast.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's ballsy.
One more hit.
Xarnax, why you making me clench? Uh,
One more.
one more hit. Got it. Nice. Clutch Thunderbird fight from Xarnax. That was amazing.
Dark Link sudden death fight.
Yeah, I think he can take 1 hit from Dark Link and not die. Hopefully he knows the if Dark Link jumps in at you, jump straight up strat. Some people actually don't know that that's a thing. So for anybody in my chat right now that runs this game and just recently picked it up, I see a couple of you. Not naming anybody. If Dark Link jumps in at you, just right before he would land where you're at, jump straight up vertically. Oh no.
Xarnax.
He would have PB'd by about 2.5 minutes. And now we have Breastickle in the lead. Yes, Shiner. Neutral jump straight up to dodge the jump in. You have to time it just right, but you can dodge the jump in if you jump straight up. The timing is just before Dark Link touches the ground, you jump. Alright, Breasticle's poking the blob. Moving on to the room before Thunderbird. See if he goes for the red jar strats.
Looks like he is. Get a red bird. Does he have extra life? He has 2 extra lives.
I would have death abused in the previous room in the lava then. Especially with 2 extra lives. But him playing conservatively is what is gonna lead to his win. What should be a win here. I don't want to jinx him.
Thunderbird fight. Not bad.
Yeah, getting a lot of double and triple hits in. Finishing off Thunderbird rather easily. Plenty of life for Dark Link. Alright,
Xarnax having a bit of a problem. Just took another death.
we've got Breastickle fighting Dark Link. About halfway through with the fight right now. And he's finished. We have a 136.04. What appears to be a almost 6-minute PB for... Wait. That's not right. His
I think he
his PB on the leaderboards must be wrong or something.
I think that's his new PB from today.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
he
very.
finished pretty close to his PB from today then. Xarnax having some trouble in the block room though. Oh, Breastickle is running against his average splits.
I see.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification, Jay Coper. That's a shame. Xarnax was on pace for a really good PB there. And the win. Dark Link just completely trolled him though. Is that
Xarnax and 0 health.
Yep. Is he gonna cut into the wow? I was thinking he would have cut into the oh wait, there's not a jar inside that wall, I don't think. I think it's only the earlier ones. It's been so long since I've gone to those hidden areas on the walls that I forget exactly where they're at. But he should be able to at least make it to the room before Thunderbird for the red jar without dying. Or take
Yeah,
the
it
death
takes.
abuse here.
Yeah.
Alright, he's going into Thunderbird with Magic 8, full life, full magic. Oh wait, he already killed Thunderbird, that's right. He can go straight ahead to Dark Link. Dark Link appears to be being a little bit nicer.
And done.
Still a sub 140, still a good run. Good race from both of them. It was really close up until the end. It went back and forth a few times. You can't ask for more than that in a race.
Yeah, good race.
I'm sorry, I was just in the SRL channel congratulating both of them on their awesome runs. But yeah, that was a really, really solid race. So yeah, thanks for hanging out and watching this race with us, guys. It was hopefully as fun for you guys to watch as it was for me to sit here and watch and commentate for you. You got any last words before I cut stream, Simple?
Nope. Thanks for having me as a co-commentator.
Thanks for
Thanks for
joining, man.
watching, guys.
Alright, guys, take it easy, everyone.